Welcome back. This is a reading of A Letter from Scotland by Fiona Tinker from the Pooka Pages, Beltane edition by Lora Craig-Gaddis. Dear Little Witches, A Letter from Scotland. Here we go again, sighed Attila the Bun. It's flittin' time. Flittin' time? Came the voice of Meg the cat with half a tail from under their favorite bush. Yes, flittin' time, answered Attila. Just look. Meg stretched lazily and sauntered out of his little den toward Attila. He surveyed the mess in front of the mound of the Sidhe. It looked like everything the unseelie court, the Kylac's winter court, owned had been dumped on the ground in a rage. Everything was in such a muddle. Indeed, the voice of the Kylac herself was raging through the air, her displeasure apparent to all who could hear her. Snow and wind battled with sunshine. Scotland just didn't know what kind of weather it wanted to wear that day. Oh, that, sighed Meg. Same story every year. They know they only have the mound for 6 months. Then they have to move to allow the Seelie court to return. Why do they bother being so bad-tempered about it all? I think it's their nature. They don't know how else to make it known that they are not happy Beltane means it's time for the summer Sidhe to return. Both the little friends watched with interest as a skillet, a kettle, and a pot came flying out of the entrance to the mound to join the heaps of kitchen stuff on the ground. This was followed by an enraged shriek from the Kylac, and one of the she-folk running from her as fast as his legs could carry him. Said Attila the Bun. I think it might be a good idea to get out the way. I don't think the Kylac's in any mood to be nice to us today. Do you? Nope, agreed Meg. This is not a day when she'll be cooking the bannocks, that's for sure. Attila sighed. Meg always thought in terms of his stomach. But this time, he was right. There would be neither nice words nor bannocks from the Kylac today. Both Attila and Meg backed slowly away from the mound of the Sidhe, desperate not to be noticed by any of the unseelie court. Most of all, by the Kylac herself. Once they were safely out of harm's way, Attila said, So, what will we do to pass the time now? In answer, Meg stuck his half a tail up in the air. He closed his eyes tight and some serious concentration did a workout across his face. In a few minutes, his tail began to glow and pulse. Magic and mischief were afoot. The purple gloaming that was the door between the world of the Sidhe and the human world lit the sky. Fire and water! Jump through! Instructed Meg. Without another thought, Attila jumped with Meg from the other world to the human world. They landed with a big sploosh in the soft, boggy ground around the Clootie Well. The Clootie Well was decorated with flowers. Just above the well, there grew a single hawthorn tree with its blossoms stretched out towards the sun. The whiteness of the hawthorn flowers stood out boldly against the deep blue of the sky. Further up the hill a little grew a beautiful copse of hazel trees. The sun shone. Meow. It's definitely the start of summer here, said Meg happily, as he moved to higher ground. But why did we land by the well? Look closer at the hawthorn bush, said Attila. Meg did so, and he saw all the beautiful cotton ribbons attached to its thorns. Each of the ribbons had a piece of paper attached to it, and they fluttered gently in the light breeze, like tail feathers from exotic birds. Each paper was covered in the strange markings people called writing. What does it mean? Asked Meg. It doesn't mean, it says, answered Attila. And, before you ask, I don't know how it talks either. It's human magic. 2 pairs of eyes peered closely at the markings on the paper, but neither set of eyes had the ability to read, so the meaning of the marks stayed a mystery. Suddenly, they felt they were not alone. Turning around, they saw the guardians of the forest emerge from the hazel trees. It was hard to see them clearly at first. The green and brown colors of their bodies shimmered against the green and brown colors of the trees themselves. The cat and the rabbit watched very closely. In a few minutes, they could see the figures of the forest she. Meg felt the fur on the back of his neck stand up a little. He was, in truth, a little scared of these particular she. And he always felt guilty when he came across them, in case one of them wanted to scold him for all the times he'd sharpened his claws on a tree trunk. However, he was not in trouble this time. Without speaking aloud, the largest of the tree guardians pointed towards all the colored ribbons on the hawthorn. There was the feeling of a smile, and suddenly both Attila the Bun and Meg, the cat with half a tail, understood what all the strange marks on the paper were. They were prayers. Prayers to Angus Og, prayers to Brita, prayers to many of the ancient gods by name. Each of the pieces of paper was a request for healing, or a thank you for help given, or a plea for help. There were so many of them, too. "Wow," said Meg. "Does Angus answer all of those that are written to him?" "As many as I can," answered Angus Og, who had, as always, been with them unnoticed until he was named. Meg ran to Angus and jumped into his arms, happy to be in one of his favorite places in either world. Angus laughed and said, "There's no need to be afraid of the tree guardians, little cat." Meg just cuddled into Angus's arms a little tighter. He really did get spooked by those spirits, and the way they could talk to you without words. He'd rather have the Kylac cursing him out in her good Gaelic at the top of her lungs any day of the week than this weird way the tree she have of talking without talking. It was just unnerving. "Of course it's weird," said Angus Og, "but that's just because you never learned the language to do it." Meg started and Angus laughed. "Come on," he said. "Let's find people, shall we?" Saying that, he scooped up Attila, and off they went again, leaving the Clootie and the tree guardians to do whatever it was that Clootie and tree guardians did when no one was there to see them do it. They landed on one of the sacred spaces where the two worlds met. 2 bonfires blazed in the middle, and animals were being driven through the smoke of the fires. Meg and Attila knew that the smoke of the fires would take away anything nasty from the long winter and banish bad luck. They watched happily as more cattle, sheep, and goats were driven through the smoke by laughing, happy boys and girls. Once the usual animals had been blessed by fire, Meg and Attila stared in puzzlement at 3 animals driven forward by a little girl. They had never seen these creatures before, and they weren't sure if their eyes or the forest she were playing tricks. It looked like these beasties had been made from fat pipe cleaners twisted to be even fatter. They had long necks, long legs, long hair, and long, long grins. They were happy-looking fluffy balls on 4 legs. Meg had truly never seen anything like them before. Attila the Bun tried to remain cool and pretend everything was under his control, but he too had a hard job stopping himself from gawking at these very strange animals. The little girl drove her strange beast between the fires, and the cleansing smoke covered both animals and girl for a moment. They came out the other side to cheers of delight from the crowd. "That's Katie Beck," said Angus. "She asked me for help with her family's croft because it wasn't doing too well. I sent her a dream answer." Meg snorted. "Those animal things she's got there sure look like they came from a crazy dream." It was Angus Og's turn to snort. "I didn't dream them into existence," he said. "They're called alpacas. They come from far away in South America." Attila looked closer at the strange beasts. There's wool covering them, he said. Lots and lots of wool. There is indeed, said Angus. That was my dream answer to Katie's prayer for help with her family's croft. They have 3 alpacas now. Next year, when they sell the fleece of these 3, they will buy 3 more animals. And from that, they'll have a small herd. Things will pick up for them with a belief in Katie's dream added to some hard work from all of the family. "Aw," purred Meg. "That's really nice." "It is," said Angus. "I know of something you'll find nicer, though." Meg looked at him in puzzlement. "It's time for the Beltane Bannocks, of course," smiled Angus. "Yes!" exclaimed Meg. Sighing happily, Attila followed as all 3 of them headed towards the cooking stone that had been placed at the side of one of the fires. It was nice to be with his friends at Beltane, even if he never ate bannocks. Beltane blessings to you and yours. Till next time, Fiona Tinker.